Alright, what is up everyone? Welcome to the Super Metroid Weekly Race. This week we're bringing back the full item randomizer, which we featured a while back. For the racers today, we have Scotty Morphball on the top left, Antinemy in the top right, Ponk on the bottom left, and Easy Danger on the bottom right. And like I said, they're going to be doing a full randomizer, which means all of the items are mixed up. There's no major minor item split. They will be getting Morphball right at the start, as we saw at the vanilla location. It can either be there or in the ceiling where we just saw Spring Ball. But other than that, everything is completely randomized. The suits work as they do in the tournament logic seeds, where gravity does not provide heat protection. So basically you're going to need both suits, or at least Varia at a minimum if you are comfortable doing suitless Maridia. So just getting started here, nothing major we've seen besides Morph and Spring Ball. Everything else has just been ammo. Because this is a full randomizer, charge can be anywhere, and because of the way the ammo is dispersed, you're usually going to get a lot of super missiles in these kind of seeds. So we're probably going to see the runners all just grab a bunch of super missiles and not even care about finding charge. And so far, Scotty, Sephi, and Ponk all kind of taking the standard route, going down to Blue Brinstar, picking up all the items there, and then coming back up to BT. Easy Danger actually doing the reverse Brinstar route, where he goes left from the Retro Brinstar elevator and kind of clears Big Pink and Green Brinstar sort of in reverse from what you typically see. Usually you want to do this play if you plan on going to wreck ship, because by the time you check everything, you're kind of back up by the ship. And ooh, Easy picking up Plasma Beam. That's a pretty nice find. So I'm kind of expecting Easy to head to wreck ship, and really in most cases doing it this way is okay. The only issue really would be if Speed Booster was somewhere early on, like by BT or at Terminator, where our other runners are at right now, because then you would have to skip past Waterway if you came through backwards like Easy's doing right now. But it looks like they haven't found Speed, so unless they find it in Green Brinstar somewhere, this really shouldn't come back to bite Easy at all. Oh wow, okay. So apparently this is actually a tourney rando, so not fully randomized, but there's major and minor item splits. And one very important major item we just found was Varia at the Brinstar Reserve. So like I said, this is the only suit that's going to provide heat protection, which is going to give access to the heated areas of Upper Norfair as well as Lower Norfair, once we pick up some other items to help us go through the lava area. But this is looking really good for these guys so far. Another nice thing about this seed so far is everyone has managed to find at least two power bomb packs. Without bombs, it's very easy to soft lock in a lot of places because the game normally expects you to have them very early, within like the first 5 minutes of the run. So it looks like they're probably all going to have 3 by the time they're done with the Brinstar check. So hopefully won't see any ammo mismanagement as far as the power bombs go. We won't see any soft locks. So at this point, they've all almost kind of cleared out everything, but we've seen all the items kind of in the early portion of the game. So now that they have Varia, they do have the option to go into Norfair and explore the Bubble Mountain area, since they can get through all those heated rooms. Normally you would need high jump or bombs to get through the first heated room leading over to Bubble Mountain, but there's some slight modifications to this version of the randomizer, and you can actually go through there without any items other than the supers you need to go through the doors. So they could go into Norfair and start exploring some stuff, as well as do Kraid along the way. And since they did pick up Spring Ball, going across the moat into Wreck Ship is also an option, since you can do kind of a bounce ball over the moat if you're not familiar with the CWJ. It's also worth mentioning the Wavegate item, where everyone's getting plasma. That is not in logic right now. You need high jump boots or wave beam in order for that to be in logic. And while plasma isn't a required item by any means, it's a very comfy item, since you can take out enemies pretty quickly with it, and especially in lower Norfair, it just makes traversal in that area a whole lot safer, being able to clip through enemies and not take damage. So it looks like I think everyone was able to grab it, so that's going to be pretty good for the runners going forward. Oh, now this is really cool. Scotty and Ponk are heading over to X-Ray, and with their current equipment, this is absolutely not in logic, but by doing a series of D-boosts using these waivers, it's actually possible to reach the X-Ray item location, and Scotty managing to pull it off. Very nicely done. Ponk will be doing the same thing now. And Wave Beam. Spring Ball was in the ceiling in Blue Brinstar. Ponk also very nice job using those D boosts. It's pretty scary doing that because those spikes can do quite a bit of damage, especially if you get caught at the very end and like mess up the last D boost. But fortunately, they already have Varia, which provides full environmental damage protection. So they're getting the max defense possible against these spikes since they already have various suits. So not quite as scary if they were suitless or had gravity, but it didn't really matter for them since they're getting across just fine. And it looks like Sephi also successful with that early X-ray check, getting his wave beam. And it indeed looks like Easy is going to be going into Wreck Ship. So like I said, because he has that spring ball, he does not have to do a CWJ, but he can actually kind of morph midair just like that and bounce off the pillar and get across. Ooh, and high jump boots at the spacer location. This is a really good item to have if you're going to be heading into Norfair, because now with high jump in Varia, we have full access into lower Norfair by being able to do the lava dive. So I would think these three guys are probably thinking they want to go to lower Norfair as soon as they feel comfy, and then just kind of clear the game from the bottom up. So we see Ponk and Scotty both heading to Kraid now. This is a really good play most of the time, because you're going to have to kill Kraid at some point anyways, and there's two major item locations here. So you really can't go wrong doing this before heading further into Norfair or backtracking up to the wreck ship. Gravity is still in play, charge could be somewhere, as well as some of the other comfy items like space jump, screw attack, and speed booster and ice, of course, which most of our runners will probably need in order to access Maridia, at least the latter half of Maridia. So Scotty and Ponk coming up to Kraid. It looks like Scotty had a little trouble with the quick kill, so he's gonna have to take Kraid to prom, while Ponk getting his quick kill, pulling a lead in front of Scotty now. And grapple beam. That is also a really nice item to have at this point. High jump, grapple, and ice are kind of the three main items you're looking for. That might be a sign that suitless Maridia is in logic. And especially having Spring Ball too. A lot more experienced runners like Ponk will be very comfortable just doing Maridia without gravity if you have kind of those required items in Spring Ball. So if he finds ice, he may not even care about finding gravity at this point. And meanwhile, I was watching those two. Sephi, I think he got his quick kill. He seemed to get out of there pretty quick and easy. Didn't look like he had too much trouble with the Pantoon fight, so we'll see if this pays off for easy. He could find Gravity Suit here, which would be huge. Even if these guys do decide to go suitless, he would be able to do Maridia a lot faster with a Gravity Suit. Other than that, really like charge would kind of be the only other like super useful item you could find here. And ice and speed too. I always forget about those two. They're very important for these randomizers. And it looks like Ponk, Scotty, and Sephi all found Screw Attack at Kraid's E-Tank, which is a very comfy item. It makes lower Norfair way more comfortable. Much like Plasma Beam, it kind of trivializes the enemies in that area. So I think they're definitely thinking about lower Norfair now. And we'll have to see how many item checks they decide to do along the way. It looks like they all kind of want to clear out this early Norfair section, but they may decide to skip out on Bubble Mountain until after they do lower Norfair. Ooh, now this is interesting. Easy is trying to get over to the wreck ship E-Tank, but without high jump or gravity, he kind of has to use some different techniques. He can either try to bomb jump using his power bombs, which is kind of risky because you use up power bombs doing that, and if you end up not getting it, you just won't have any power bombs. But what he's doing right now is trying to do a spring ball jump in order to get a little bit of extra height to get over there. I think he has to do it again. And it does look like Ponk and Scotty are both heading towards Bubble Mountain. Very good use of that spring ball. And I imagine Seffi's going to be doing the same thing. So it looks like Ponk is going to be choosing to check the Norfair Reserve. This is a good item to check because there's 2 ammo pickups along the way, which could potentially be supers, which would be great against Ridley. And there's also a major item at the end of this. That's kind of the nice thing about Bubble Mountain is that there's a lot of minor items, so a lot of ammo you could potentially get. So depending on how many supers you have at this point, it may be better for you to do Bubble Mountain anyways, even if you're pretty comfortable with the major items you have. So Ponk, it looks like he's going to keep checking these items. I think Scotty, I didn't see if he went to check Speed Booster, but he's checking a wave right now, whereas Seffi is just going to be going straight to Lower Norfair. So if Bubble Mountain ends up being just like complete trash, Seffi will gain quite a bit of time by not doing any of those checks, assuming he doesn't do it later. But kind of depends what we see in Lower Norfair, if he feels he needs to check more items. And Scotty finding the space jump at wave and Ice Beam is at Speed Booster. That is a huge pickup for Ponk. He can complete the game right now with what he has. Besides getting charge and or enough ammo to do the bosses. And Seffi getting a nice Green Gate glitch second try. He's going to be checking the screw attack item. And it's Speed Booster. That is another really good find. And actually, now that he has Speed Booster, he has a pretty good way to exit this room. He can do the RBO strat where you run from the energy refill room. But instead, he's actually going to do a spring ball jump similar to what Easy Danger did and nailing it. Nice job. Really showing off how great spring ball is in this this seed, which is awesome. It's a very underrated item in these randos. I didn't see, where is charge at? Was that in wrecked ship? Okay, it seems like it was in wrecked ship. So, although no suit in there for easy, assuming it wasn't on wrecked ship reserve, charge is still probably the best item he could have got besides gravity. Especially because he's already has plasma. He's probably going to get ice along the way. I don't think he's going to do early X-ray and get the wave beam, but he's going to have quite a lot of damage output with his current beam combo, so he really shouldn't need to pick up much more ammo for the rest of the game. Maybe another super pack or two to kind of make Ridley faster, but other than that, he's pretty set. Sephi will be good for Ridley. Ridley needs 30 super missiles to kill. They do double damage. But 30 super missiles, and then for every super missile extra you need if you miss them or something is 6 missiles. And you can also use power bombs, which can do 200 or 400 damage depending if they double hit or not. So he's pretty set on ammo. The other nice thing about Grapple Beam, not only can it make full Suitless Maridia a good option, but as Sephi's showing right now, it is really good for farming up these enemies before Ridley. So he'll be pretty full shortly here. Otherwise, it's kind of a pain to farm these guys. And it looked like Ponk grabbed Speed Booster. I didn't see if Scotty went over there. I'm going to assume he didn't, because I think him and Ponk were pretty much neck and neck until now. Well, I don't know, they're still really close. Very nice kill by Sephi. Not taking any damage. So there's 2 more major items we haven't seen. We're about to see Ridley's E-Tank, and then we have Fire Flea Tank coming up. So just the E-Tank at Ridley's E-Tank. If Sephi finds Gravity at Fire Flea, then skipping all the Bubble Mountain items is a very viable option for him, since he'll be able to full clear Maridia, he'll be able to full clear Wreck Ship, and at that point it's really just grabbing ammo or hoping to find charge, and he's practically in go mode. But I think if we don't see a Gravity pickup on the way out of Lower Norfair, Sephi will probably check out the Bubble Mountain items, and upon seeing ice, that may tempt him to just go right into Maridia and kind of hope it's a Suitless Seed. The only other options those 3 runners would have is to go into Croc and hope for Gravity, or go up to Wreck Ship and hope Gravity's there. But like I said, Ponk is definitely very comfortable right now. He is basically in go mode once he has the ammo or charge. But I'm not sure if Scotty or Sephi might feel the same way with their current equipment. So Ponk starting his Ridley fight as Scotty's about to come in. Again, only 30 super missiles. The fight is pretty quick if you land them all. So not too big of a deal. And Sephi finding Gravity Suit. Wow. Okay, so he is pretty much in go mode besides charge and ammo. He very may well skip the Bubble Mountain items unless he really wants to find charge. I think he will, though, just because, like I said earlier, there is a lot of ammo in that area, and by chance, if he finds ice or charge along the way, it's going to be a pretty good time save for him. And as we know, ice is there, which is going to save him time on the Metroid rooms. And yeah, it looks like Sephi's already kind of thinking he should probably grab some ammo, because at this point, he really has everything he needs besides charge or ammo. Yeah, I don't think any of these runners are going to be checking Croc. All the items they need are pretty much on the path to beating the main bosses, so unless someone wants to gamble on Croc having something before they go and check out Lower Norfair, I don't see anyone really checking them. Oh yeah, Scotty does not have as many supers as everyone else. I think he's going to be fine as long as he doesn't miss like 2 or 3 supers. I think I saw Ridley's color change already. And Sephi is checking some Bubble Mountain stuff. The wave check is pretty reasonable. It's right next to the lower Norfair exit, so it doesn't really take a lot of time to go and check that. But we'll see what he does with the rest of these items. And he is going to head over to Speed Booster, which means he's going to get his Ice Beam, which is good for him. It's definitely going to save time picking this up. And it looks like Ponk is kind of thinking the same thing right now. He is in go mode. Well, I keep saying they're in go mode, but they need Charger, the ammo. They have all the major items they need. So at this point, just picking up extra ammo packs along the way as they go to finish off the rest of the bosses, as long as they get a good chunk of supers, they will have enough to beat the game. And that's kind of one of the challenging things about this rando, is kind of making the decision whether you want to go hunt for charge somewhere, or if you just kind of want to pick up some extra ammo along the way and hope you get enough by the time you get back up to Criteria. And it looks like with Sephi's Bubble Mountain checks, Ponk is going to pull ahead a little bit, although Sephi is still not very far behind. Scotty looked like he got slowed down a bit with that Ridley fight, but he does have his gravity suit now, so he is set to go. So now as Ponk and Sephi are going into Maridia, they're going to have to decide whether they want to check some locations here and hope for charge. Really, Mama Turtle is the only one they would want to check, since it's the only one that's like kind of reasonable to check and doesn't take very long. It looks like both of them actually just going to bank on the Main Street item being ammo, and it is a super pack, which is great. Both of them really only need like 4 or 5 more packs to beat the game comfortably. And there's some good opportunities to pick up ammo throughout the rest of Maridia and at Wreck Ship, so I think they'll be good. Ponk actually checking Mama Turtle, getting a super missile pack out of the wall, which is nice, but the major there was not anything important for him. And I like this from Sephi. He's actually going to be checking the Aqueduct Miners, and there is a super missile pack there. And if there's a second one, that would be really huge for him. And it's a power bomb pack. So again, Sephi and Ponk really close to the bare minimum ammo here. I can't imagine at this point that they're going to be hunting for charge, really. We'll see them check Batwoon, maybe the Dragon item, but they're really close. And looks like Easy, he did a Green Gate glitch and got his speed booster. So like I said earlier, Easy, although Rex Ship didn't have a suit, having Charge Beam there, he's not going to have to pick up any of these extra items, so he's going to save quite a bit of time. Just not having to go through the fanfares of the item pickups or going out of the way to grab them. So although he's a fair bit behind the other runners, do keep in mind he already did Wreck Ship, and he'll be having a lot less item fanfares at this point. Ooh, and a nice full happy from Punk. That is going to put him in front of Sephi now. Both of them deciding to pick up this missile pack. So Dragon fight right now. With the equipment they have, this will be a pretty standard any percent fight. Unfortunately, no X-ray in charge for them, so no microwave strats. But both these guys know how to do this fight with this equipment, so probably going to see some pretty quick fights. Ooh, Sephi with that diagonal spark. Oh, and another option they had, I forgot about, since they have grapple beam, is they can fry the shrimp, which we just saw Punk do. A very nice, quick grapple kill. And just to E-tank at Dragon, Punk doesn't need it. He's comfortable with these items. Oh, and easy taking a death in Amphitheater. And it looks like he saved right before the lower Norfair elevator, so didn't lose too much time, actually. It'll be interesting to see if he goes back and gets Speed Booster, though. I can't remember if he found Ice already, but if he has Ice, he may just forego it. Although it is kind of hard to skip out on Speed Booster when you know it's there. Alright, and Scotty's starting his Dragon fight. Same thing. He has the equipment you would normally have in any percent as well as grapple, so it should be pretty quick for him. And Easy indeed is going back for that speed booster. Now, Punk and Sephi have to kind of decide here. There's really not a ton of miners around wrecked ships, so Punk is going to be checking some of the miner items at the top of Red Tower. There's 3 of them here that you could potentially get. And there's 2 in the wrecked ship area that are really quick to check. So can't blame these guys really for coming to check these items, since they do need like 2 more super packs, preferably 3, to be like pretty safe. Sephi actually choosing to skip the Red Tower items. Punk got a super missile pack from behind the Alpha Power Bombs, which is really good. And another super pack in the Beta Power Bomb. So Punk is like pretty much set on ammo. He'll probably want 1 more super pack though, just so he doesn't have to like do any refills in Tourian. Sephi just getting a missile pack in the wrecked ship. It looked like he kind of wanted to skip it, but if he doesn't run into any more supers along the way, it could save him. So I think what we might see Sephi do, since he does need a couple more supers to make this a comfy Tourian. He could either go into Attic and farm or pick up the items outside of Attic, or he could try to go through Gauntlet and grab the 2 minor items there that are right next to the Tourian entrance. But it's gonna be really close between him and Ponk, because Ponk is pretty much set already, so he might not do those 2 things, which would save him quite a bit of time over Seppi. And Scotty, I can't really tell what he has. I think it's like 35 or something. So he is much lower on ammo compared to these guys, so he may want to actually go look for charge. And it looks like Easy actually checked Firefly before going down to Ridley, so he already has his gravity suit, which doesn't make a huge difference. It does reduce your damage by 50%, although having Screw Attack and Plasma at this point, you're probably not going to get hit much besides the Ridley fight. It's still not a bad pickup to have. And it looks like Sephi is just leaving Rek's ship, so he's probably going to check the ocean missiles here, and then from there, check landing site power bombs, and then go into Gauntlet if he still doesn't have enough ammo. And that is a super pack for Sephi, so he is good to go with this ammo right now. He should just book it straight to Tourian. And good call here by Sephi, refilling at the ship. There's no way you're gonna max out your supers on the Metroids, and you have to get like 45 of them. So good call. And I imagine we'll be seeing Ponk do the same thing. Now, since these guys only have 60 supers, it's okay because they do have extra missiles to open up the doors, but they definitely want to make sure that they have 60 when they leave the last Metroid room. Otherwise, it's going to be extremely tight as far as their ammo goes on Mother Brain 2. And it looks like Scotty, tried a Super Phantoon, but wasn't quite dead yet, so gets an enraged phase. Easy doing his Ridley fight now. Fortunately having charge, so it doesn't have to worry about soft locking, but still uses some supers to speed up the fight. And he is done with that now. So Scotty really just needs ammo or charge, and then he's ready to beat the game. Whereas Easy needs to finish up Maridia before he heads to Tourian. And yeah, we see Sephi here just individually taking out these Metroids and using missiles, since he has not gotten great super luck in the other rooms. Okay, he's gonna use super there. Okay, now he's full on supers. It takes 60 supers to beat Mother Brain 2, and you need 36 or 36 regular missiles for Mother Brain 1. In addition to that, there's 2 red doors and a Ghidorah to take care of on the way there. Taking out the doors and the Ghidorah, you always have the option to go back and refill missiles, but there's nowhere to refill super missiles at this point. So they won't need any refills, but we might see at least a refill on after the first red door, just because it's so close. And yeah, especially now because Sephi missed the baby skip, so he's gonna have to refill his energy anyways. This will give Ponk a chance to catch up, though. If Ponk can pull off the baby skip here... Oh, and he gets grabbed. Okay, so both of them are gonna have to go and refill. Sephi... I think Sephi is going to open up all the doors, actually, and then go back to refill. This can give Ponk a chance to catch up now. If Ponk decides he doesn't want to be safe. Yeah, it looks like Ponk's only going to open up the first door before he refills, so he actually just pulled ahead of Sephi. But you know, we'll have to see on this Ghidorah, actually. Okay, Ponk is going to use a super, so no time lost there. Oh, and Sephi didn't take off Screw Attack, so he actually has to do the Zeb Spark to get through, which is a little bit slower than the Ice Zeb Skip we just saw Ponk do. So gaining just a bit more time on Sephi. So this Mother Brain 2 fight is going to be pretty critical. They really don't have a ton of room for error, since they have... they do have extra missiles, so they can afford to miss some supers, but they really don't want to miss a ton. Wow. And Sephi managing to pull ahead. Pulling ahead by a good bit, too. Alright, well, these guys are in the cutscene. Let's check out Scotty. It looks like he's up to 50 supers now and 50 regular missiles, so he still needs some more supers. I'm assuming he kind of checked everything in the top part of Red Tower already and kind of the easy stuff in Wreck's ship, so not really sure where he wants to go. The 230 missiles here he's going to, that's probably the closest thing. But I think he'll still want another super pack, even if this is supers. And it's power bombs, unfortunately. He may go down to check Old Mother Brain, and then potentially the Blue Brinstar area, like Billy Mays. That's probably better than going back to Wreck's ship. Oh, okay, he's going to check Criteria Supers too. That's a good call. And Easy Danger is working through Maridia now. With that charge beam, no fear and soft locking on Batwoon. Looks like Scotty only got a missile pack off Criteria Supers, so still needs to find more supers, unfortunately. And looks like Sephi finishing off Mother Brain 2 or Mother Brain 3, probably not even like 10 seconds faster than Punk. So now final escape. Sephi might go for Blue Bomber here. If he misses it, that could really tighten this up. And it looks like he's not going to go for it. He's just going to play it safe with the Spark. At this point, really falling down in this room or messing up the climb Spark somehow are really only going to be the huge time losses. And Sephi missing that Moonfall, actually, which will give Punk a couple seconds. And nailing that Behemoth Spark. Punk coming in now to do his Spark. And as long as Sephi can keep some clean movement here, which he does, he's coming into the final room now with Punk just seconds behind him. And Sephi getting on the ship with an official SRL time of 48:16. Punk right behind him with the 48:24. GG to both of these guys. Really nice race between those two. Both of those runners, Punk and Sephi, did extremely well in our last randomizer tournament. Punk coming in second place, and Sephi, I think, in the top 8. So really not surprised to see these two guys have such a close race. And really it came down to where all the supers are at. They were both hunting supers towards the end there. And I think Sephi just kind of gambled a little bit more and didn't check as many spots, and unfortunately picked up some extra supers and got a bit of an edge on Punk in that regard. And also Farrell finishing with the 49:34, who is not on the restream. I did forget to mention we have Farrell and Drake also running in this race, as well as Bullseye and Boostin, all not on the restream, but still competing. And it looks like I'm joined by our winner here, Antinemy, aka Sephi. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you, Sloters. Thank you for commentating. That was not expected at all. Ooh.
Honestly, you have to watch this back. Like, this was so close between you and Punk and Scotty for a long time.
Was it really? I bet you we were making like the same plays and everything. I can only figure, because I know that Punk is the rando master, and I haven't done randomizers in forever. I don't know, but good game to obviously Punk and to Scotty, to Farrell finishing up. Who else was on there? Dre, Boostin, Bullseye, Easy, of course. If only we could have gotten you in on here, Sloters.
Yeah, dude, this is like the kind of seed I want to play. Early spring ball, like doing the Norfair stuff like immediately. Like, I would have loved this one, but honestly, it was really fun watching you guys do it because it was just so close the whole time. And it looks like we're also joined here by Punk. Punk, GG, man. How are you feeling about that one?
Mixed feelings. It was a pretty good run overall. Obviously losing by 8 seconds. It's not the best feeling in the world, but my man here deserves winning against me at least once.
Just once, to be honest, because I think that's like the only time that I've ever beaten you. I have never beaten you in a randomizer at all. You're just too godly at these.
Nah, to be honest, that was a great race. Like, I love that it was so close. I thought Pharaoh would snipe me. He had this dot done pre-type for way too long. So answer me one question. Did I lose because of early X-ray, or did he also do early X-ray?
I did early X-ray too. Don't worry.
All right, good.
Yeah,
Then
so-
I don't have to worry.
No, you do not
Dude,
have
that
to
wave beam was so fucking worthless. Like, I was like, oh dang, nice dude, gonna have one beam advantage, charge beam, easy every time, easy win. But no, have to collect like 60 stupid supers.
Yeah, it was really, I don't know. I wish that it would have been, I don't know, charged, because everything was in the way, and it would have
Right.
been payoff if
Like,
like
this was such a gutsy. Even like speed, even though nobody needed it anymore. Like all beams right there. High jump, space jump, screw attack, the suits.
yeah, I feel like speed was a like a really good bonus or something.
Yeah.
To have. It wasn't necessary, but I don't know. Like, I know that you must have been ahead like for a majority of it, because you got to L your A off, early before I checked before I saw where Varia is. I was like, oh yeah, well he's definitely ahead. So we're gonna be making the same plays. I'm almost guaranteed that we're gonna make the same plays. Probably same with Scotty, and then I'm pretty
I feel like, honestly, it came down to like minor difference in the late game, like baby skip or not, or just cleaning Metroid rooms and stuff like that. Like I feel like it was like with this much of a time, with this little of a time difference, it must have really been like minor things at the end.
Yeah, I think more or less you guys pretty much checked the same stuff. I think Sephi skipped Norfair Reserve because he did Bubble Mountain after Lower Norfair, so obviously he had everything but charge already. But I think you were pretty much ahead until he skipped the Bubble Mountain stuff.
Right.
And then from there it was kind of like you guys hunted different areas for the minor items, and I think he got a bit of an edge just because he didn't have to go as far out of the way for his supers at the end. And then he was a good bit ahead after the baby, but he went all the way up to the Zeb room to missile the doors and went back to refill, and you guys were literally I think you were just a few seconds ahead of him after that because you didn't go all the way and do that.
Right.
Okay, got it.
That was fun though. That was a really good C2 race as well.
Wait, you finished with 45%. Wow.
What did you finish with?
46.
45. Yeah, 1% difference.
I guess it makes sense because I must have picked up an extra missile pack or something. I don't know, or maybe a power bomb pack. I'm not even sure because I think I finished with 20 in total or something.
Yeah, I got super hyped when I got 15 power bombs early because I did a practice seat where I only had 5, and then I got ice beam immediately. I was like, god dang it, why even bother? Yeah, I got a kind of a confession to make. I'm sure someone clipped that because so I killed your fish when it was facing left.
What?
I was just tickling him with grapple, and I was spamming shot with the grapple beam, and I apparently accidentally swapped back to normal beam. And then all of a sudden there was just the stupid plasma shot that double hit the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You want to set the word again? I think that's what you want to do.
I think we already did with this race, honestly.
And you know what? To think that I've been converted as Shack Tool Saber now, huh? I love Shack Tool now.
Yeah. No. I already.
And you go ahead and do this to me.
Yeah. I mean.
What do you mean mistake?
I was thinking I was debating if I should go down to the animal surprise. I was thinking, what would Sephi do? I was like, nah, not gonna do it. I'm just gonna look for shooting at animals.
Well, I mean, either way, just I hope that Sloters can join in on the next one, man, because this one was pretty cool. I was not gonna join this one, honestly. I really was not.
And then you decided, hey, let's farm Ponk a little bit. And you did join it.
It's about time too. See
Nah.
how many points that shoots me up.
I do want to mention right now, Scotty unfortunately is forfeited from the race. He had a bit of ammo mismanagement after the Metroid rooms, and he cannot beat Mother Brain, so He's forfeited, but GG to Scotty. He was really with you guys like the whole time, but he kind of got slowed down because he wasn't grabbing as many miners, and so it kind of slowed the Ridley fight down because he was short on ammo there, and then he had to go and fetch a bunch of miners before going into Tourian. But more or less the same path that you guys took, Seppi and Punk.
Yeah,
because we didn't take me route. But yeah, Seppi, thanks a lot for the race. Literally, thanks a lot for commentating. I can't wait to race both of you in the next Rando tournament.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be something else.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, thank you again, guys, and thank you for watching. Shout out to, of course, the other runners as well.
Yeah. GG to the others, and yeah, later.
Yeah, GG guys, thank you for racing. That was a lot of fun to watch. So Scotty having forfeited now, we just have Easy Danger finishing up his Tourian. Like I mentioned, he does have Charge Beam, so no ammo concerns. He just needs like 10 and 10 pretty much to take out Mother Brain 1, and he's at 17 and 25 right now, so can just do Mother Brain 2 with charge shots, no problem, and then he'll be finishing up. And also we have Drake finishing up in 4th place with a time of 58:28. GG to Drake. Another runner not on the restream, but still in the race. And I don't think Easy actually has enough ammo for this since he took out the Zebs with missiles. He did not grab Charge Beam from Norfair, or not Charge Beam. He didn't grab Ice Beam from Upper Norfair. So his only option for Zeb Skip would be the Zeb Spark, which he may not be comfortable with. Oh, and he does have enough ammo, actually. I guess I didn't see that right. So just going to be 40 charge shots with his current beam combo. He's got quite a bit of leeway as far as energy goes. So should be pretty good right now. Yeah, 9 and 9 is like the bare minimum, I guess. So, you can do the math, 12 and 8 or 15 and 7. Once you're actually like in front of the tank works. And Easy finishing up his Mother Brain 2 fight at the right energy now to trigger the cutscene. And he'll be done in just a couple minutes here. So yeah, definitely I would say going down to Norfair first was the play here. Although Charge was a nice thing to find up at Wreck Ship, still having to go through and do bowling and kind of full clear Wreck Ship and not getting a suit out of it just wasn't as good as the route we saw going through Norfair into Lower Norfair. Although Farrell did finish, I think just a minute or two after Seppi Punk, so maybe not a huge difference, but definitely it seems if you can avoid full clearing wreck ship, that's usually what you want to do in these randos. All right, easy starting Mother Brain 3. Just has to do, don't know how many shots actually, but just a bunch of hyper beam shots. I want to say it's like 36, but it's kind of a random guess. All right, easy. Coming out of the Leo room here shortly. Then just a few more rooms away from finishing. And easy going down to the animals. And you may have been surprised to see Punk skip out, but it's not always animals down here. In Easy's case, we can see he actually landed in Dragon's room, which is unfortunate because the escape timer is still going off, and he has to now do this Dragon fight before he can proceed. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer, but Hyper Beam making the fight extremely easy. Getting that beautiful one round. But fortunately for him, he can just go back out right the way he came and go finish up on the ship. You can actually go out the top door and run all the way back through Maridia to get back to the ship, but might not have enough time. And without any bombs or power bombs, Easy actually cannot escape out the right side of Alcatraz since the flag for the animals was not set. So it's going to have the Alcatraz on the left. And doing this is actually kind of hard with high jump. So you saw him pause in order to take it off there. And Easy coming up on the ship now, finishing with an official SRL time of 1:05:52. GG to Easy Danger. Unfortunately, Wreck Ship first was probably not the play, but still a very strong run from him. So I'll see if Easy wants to come in here, but in the meantime, let me take this time to say, if you enjoyed watching these guys run this really awesome race, drop these guys a follow. I think most of their names on here are their Twitch handles. I know Ponks is Ponktus, but give these guys a follow. They're all really good runners of this game, not just in Randomizer, but as far as speedrunning too. And all really cool guys, very entertaining streams, so drop them a follow. And I'm joined here by Easy Danger.
Hey.
GG, man.
Thanks.
So how are you feeling about that run?
Lower Norfair was really bad. I do not appreciate taking that death.
Yeah, the one in Amphitheater, right?
Yeah, like it was bad enough I missed the fast pillars, and then I took so much damage there, and then to just get sniped by that laser. That was weighing on me the whole rest of the race.
Yeah, that is a bummer. I mean, you did have the save right before that, so it could have been a lot worse, but I know what you mean. It's a bad feeling taking a death anywhere.
It definitely could have been worse. I mean, I'm glad I took the safety save because I started not to get the save before and after Lava died just to make sure. Because I've been having some trouble with Lava Dive lately too. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I still made decent time. It was like 1 hour and 5 or something. I have no idea because my timer stopped immediately.
Yeah. I mean, you probably figured it out after playing through, but going down to Norfair first was probably the play. There's just so many good items down there. And while you did find charge up there and save some time compared to the other guys who had to hunt down all the minor items, not having like a suit up there or anything, unfortunately, just made it a little slower.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that really gets me, because I'm playing against all these guys, and I know I'm not as fast as a lot of these guys like Yosefis and Ponks and Pharaohs. So I'm trying to just skip as much stuff as possible. So like as soon as I got to technical go mode, I'm like, okay, I'm just not picking up anything else. Which I probably walked right past Ice Beam, which would have sped up Tourian a lot. Probably went right past Space Jump, which would have sped up some stuff a lot.
Yeah, those in fact were at speed and wave. So they were like right after you got go mode.
Well, that's funny. I was just talking to somebody about this earlier. Because if I'd try to check Bubble Mountain on the way out, just because I know most people are going to check it as soon as they can or as soon as they have to, and it's a lot of checks. So if you're checking you're checking Norfair Reserve, and you're checking speed, and you're checking wave, you can lose a lot of time going there. So if I don't have to, I just try to skip it. And if there's something there that's useful, like actually even stopping and finding the E-Tank probably would have been helpful, but I just wanted to go and go. No, it is what it is.
Yeah. Sometimes, the meme route you took at the start, doing like the reverse Brinstar, I mean, you got good items out of it, and you didn't get screwed over by like speed being early on or anything. So, I mean,
yeah,
that's just the way it goes sometimes. You had a way into wreck chip, but fortunately, just wasn't anything super good in there besides charge.
Yeah, and on top of that, I wasted some time. There was as a proponent of meme route, let me explain the problem with it. You go into Blue Brinstar and you get 1 pack of power bombs, and that'll get you into Pink Brinstar, but it won't get you the rest of the way. You need to hopefully find another pack or pick up at least 1 more power bomb so you don't have to stop.
Right.
And I got that power bomb for the first time ever, and I missed it because I wasn't paying attention to it. I saw it there. I tried to go back for it and disappear right before I could grab it.
Yeah, that stuff. All the enemies down there don't drop them very often, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, and then I lost time messing up the springboard jump across the mode a couple of times, and I lost some time doing the springboard jump to get to Wreck Ship E-Tank, which was just the E-Tank. So that's the nature of the randomizer, though. You take some chances, you hope for the best, and usually doesn't work out. But I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, thank you for racing. You definitely showed off some good spring ball tech. I was saying earlier,
Thanks for having me.
It's like a pretty underrated item, I think. So some people still seem to think it's a joke for some reason, but it's actually really useful. Like you showed us with the moat and that spring ball jump into the wreck ship E-tank.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not a meme item. It's only the only reason it seems not useful is because in a regular game you get it so late. But when you get it early, you can do a bunch of stuff with it. That was the other thing I figured. I'm probably not going to win this race. At least I can do is show off some spring ball jumps.
Well, you're the true winner in my eyes then.
And then that Dragon fight at the end, which I was not expecting.
Yeah, so you're probably well aware of like all the different things you can get, right, going into the animals room.
Yeah, so yeah, in this version of the randomizer, you can either save the animals, you can be forced to murder the animals, or you can be forced to, or the door could be locked, or you could be forced to fight any of the bosses, or the metal pirates in Lower Norfair.
Yeah, I guess there's one that just like completes the game as soon as you walk into. I've never had that one, but someone in chat mentioned that.
There's one that it'll just complete the game without you having to fly off on the ship, and then there's one I think that will teleport you back to the beginning of the escape sequence.
Oh yeah.
So it's always a surprise, and that I feel like that's one of the things you just might as well go ahead and do it if you're not like, if nobody else is not done and you're not waiting for it, and you're just like, I'm already going for 5th place at best. I might as well go ahead and see what's down there. But yeah, that's Super Metroid Rando.
Yep. Any other words you want to say about the seed or things in general?
It was okay. Nothing much though. I guess see people around for the later one if people are doing that one. And thanks for having me. That's it. Thanks, Speed Gaming. Thanks, Logers, for commentating.
Sure thing, man. Thanks for racing. It was a fun one to commentate.
I hope so. All right. Later, everyone.
Later. And like Easy said, we do have another weekly race at 11 p.m. Eastern tonight. It'll be the same thing, item randomizer. I don't know what channel it'll be yet, so you have to keep an eye out for that. After that, as far as weekly races go, we've been rotating categories every week. I believe any percent will be next week's category, unless there's a demand for something else. So make sure you keep an eye on that schedule. I don't know if they have a command for the link to that, but yeah. Also, we have the Super Metroid any percent tournament just starting the single elimination bracket stage. I think we had a match earlier today. I know there's more coming up this weekend, so keep an eye on that too. But I think that's going to do it for me. So once again, make sure you follow these runners: Scotty Morphball, Antinomy, Punk, or his Twitch name Punktus, and Easy Danger. All of them really good runners, great randomizer players. And yeah, make sure you tune in at 11 p.m. Eastern for the next one. So thank you guys, and we will see you next mission.